So Mattel is doing Masters of the Universe action figures again. Did anybody see that coming? Let's talk about the new announcement for their San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Hey guys, I am Pixel Dan and I wanted to do a video to talk all about the new news, the new breaking San Diego Comic-Con exclusive news that just came out from Mattel. And that is for a brand new He-Man action figure pack that is going to be sold exclusively at San Diego Comic-Con. Now, right out the gate, this is really interesting news because this is a Mattel exclusive. So why is that a weird thing? Well, if you've been following Masters of the Universe in toy form for the past couple years, they've been produced by Super 7 under license from Mattel. Mattel got out of the game of producing Masters of the Universe action figures outside of their Mega Constructs toy lines, and Super 7 has been handling Masters of the Universe classics, as well as putting out their very own 5.5 vintage style figures and the reaction figures. So this is some interesting news coming out of Mattel, showing us some brand new action figures back over at Mattel. So let's go ahead and talk about the set itself. It's a really interesting new set. It's a completely new figure design. So this is not a Masters of the Universe Classics figure, but rather it's sort of like a modernized take on the vintage Masters of the Universe toy line. This 2-pack is going to give us a brand new He-Man and Prince Adam action figure, and both of them are in the 5.5-inch scale, just like the original Masters of the Universe toy line. However, this time around, they feature 16 points of articulation, interchangeable heads, interchangeable hands. It's really, really interesting stuff. So let me read you the description here of what is included. This set includes one He-Man figure and one Prince Adam figure, both styled to look like the vintage versions of the characters. Prince Adam wears his removable blue vest, while He-Man has a removable knife accessory tucked into his boot. The blue instead of the pink vest for Adam might seem odd to fans of the classic animated series, but it's what Adam wore in the original Mattel mini-comics. So this news comes from the Nerdist website. I will put a link to that reveal in the video description since they were the ones that broke the news today and the reasons why we can talk about these awesome reveals right now. So, like I said, really interesting set. These are inspired by the original mini comics that came with the action figures. The packaging looks awesome. It's like a box package that looks like the mini comics, and it opens up with the windows inside sort of looking like pages from the comic strip, with the action figure sort of behind the window boxes. It's a really cool design and definitely lives up to that whole San Diego Comic-Con exclusive packaging. So the figures themselves, very cool, but it's weird. And it's weird because we've gone 11 years with the 7-inch scale Masters of the Universe Classics line. So now it's like we're jumping back to this vintage scale, which I totally love. I love the vintage scale. But it's real interesting to see like these vintage style figures, but with beefed up articulation and all these interchangeable parts. So the set comes with that Prince Adam. This Prince Adam, like mentioned, is based off his appearance in those original mini comics. So he's got that total Alfredo Alcala design, who is the artist on those original comics there. He's wearing the blue vest. He's got a little bit of a lighter skin tone than the He-Man figure, it looks like, so he does stand out that way. They're not just exactly the same figure. He does come with two heads, I noticed. He's got one head that looks like the vintage toy He-Man head, but then he's also got a head that is designed more like his actual head in the artwork in the comics, that very Alcala design. So it looks like you can swap between the two heads. Then, of course, he's got a set of interchangeable hands, lots of weapons that also appear to be inspired by the Alcala designs. He-Man looks a lot like the original toy, but with some of those really cool mini comic additions there. They mentioned the knife in the boot. That is awesome. That's part of that original design that was in those original comics, or the original designs for the original toy, but never actually made it to that vintage toy. So we get a removable knife in the boot. That is awesome. He also comes with the two different heads. So he's got the more vintage toy looking head as well as the Alcala inspired head, all the weapons there. But there's some really cool little things I noticed as well. Just looking at the armor and everything, the power harness is designed a lot like what we saw in the Alcala comics. In fact, when you look at the backside, there's like images of the back of the figure. You'll notice that it comes in the crisscross in the back also, and it's got the holster there for the sword, and that's exactly what it looks like in those mini comics, those Alcala designs. So that is really cool. They've really done some very neat things with these figures here. It's a really cool nod to fans who really enjoyed both the vintage toy line as well as those mini comics that came with those toys, since they're almost like their own universe. It's their own storyline before the Filmation cartoon came out and kind of changed things and really took off. So it's a really neat kind of nod to the roots of Masters of the Universe. The articulation is going to be really interesting. I'm excited to get it in hand and really mess around with it. I can tell you just from looking at the images, I've got some nitpicks. The elbow articulation, the gap there in the elbow articulation is weird. It kind of breaks the sculpt design a little bit. I'm not sure how I feel about that yet. Also, this is going to sound weird, but the crotch area seems too small. Like the furry loincloth seems too small. It just looks a little strange in the pictures we've seen. But I'm really interested to get these in hand and really mess around with them. I'm curious how the articulation is going to feel, how fluid it's going to be. I'm curious about the quality of the figures. But just from the pictures here, the overall presentation, it's pretty sweet, man. I think they look awesome. So what does this mean? I think that is the biggest question. That's what fans are really talking about already, because like I said, this is big news that Mattel is doing He-Man action figures again. Is this the start of a new line of vintage style, super articulated figures like this? Or is this a one-off for Comic-Con? I can honestly see this going both ways. I think it's very possible this could be the start of a brand new line. What's going on with Masters of the Universe Classics? Are we getting more of those? And if we are, who's doing them? Super 7 or Mattel? Has the Super 7 license expired entirely and now things are picked back up with Mattel? I'll tell you that I've mentioned in previous videos, it definitely feels like there's been some movement with the license. I know it feels like things are getting pulled in a little bit with that movie coming out in 2021, I think is the date now. It would not surprise me if Mattel's trying to kind of get a handle on their license again. I know that Funko recently stopped producing their stuff. I think they recently released the final Masters of the Universe pop figure. I don't know. It's me speculating right now. I don't have full answers, but it does seem like Mattel might be kind of pulling things in a little bit. So it's going to be really interesting to see where we're going from this point. I'm just as curious as you guys, but I know that San Diego Comic-Con is coming up real soon, and there's going to be a chance to talk to everybody and get the skinny and hopefully figure out what's going on. I am very curious what Mattel is bringing to Comic-Con. Like, are they going to have a display there for Masters of the Universe, or is it just this exclusive? But I will definitely be meeting up with somebody to talk to them to hear about future plans. We already know that Super 7 does not have a Masters of the Universe exclusive at Comic-Con this year. This was announced, I brought this up, I think in my Snake Mountain video, maybe? But this has been announced by Brian Flynn that there is no He-Man or Masters of the Universe exclusive at Comic-Con this year. They are also not doing the Skeletor's Lair pop-up shop this year, so that's the first time in 3 years. So it really seems like Super 7 themselves don't have any Masters of the Universe representation at the show. Now, they might still reveal some figures. I don't know, but like I said, all of this feels like it's happening for a reason, so it's going to be really interesting to see what's going on. So, as of right now, it looks like this new pack is going to be sold exclusively at Comic-Con. They are doing a pre-order on shop.mattel.com at the end of June, but that appears to be only for people who are going to pick it up at the show. It does not appear to have a shipping option. I think somewhere on their Facebook page, Mattel stated that they do plan to sell some of them after the fact, which they usually do with their exclusives, but I have no idea how limited quantities are going to be. So as soon as I know more on that, I will definitely keep you guys posted, because hopefully everybody that wants these will be able to pick them up and add them to their collections. So there you go, my friends. There's a look at what Mattel's got going on with Masters of the Universe coming up at San Diego Comic-Con 2019, and my thoughts on the toys and some speculation as well. So now's your chance to sound off, guys. What do you think? Do you think these look cool? Do you think these are one-offs? Do you think something's going on like I do? Do you think I'm totally off base? One thing's for sure, we're gonna get to the bottom of this. We're gonna find out very soon because San Diego Comic-Con is only a month away and I will be there. So make sure you guys are subscribed right here to the Pixel Dan channel and stay tuned because I will definitely have lots of coverage coming at you. Until next time, my friends.